Okay, this video is about some funny experiences I had while listening to that weird music on YouTube. Like in 2013, I was listening to binaural beats, and yeah, it was very annoying, so I'm not surprised that that kind of beats can bring demons or whatever. But the first time in 2013, I was listening to binaural beats. Wait, not this one. Oh yeah, or something similar to this. See, and that's very annoying, so I'm not surprised it does something to your brain. Okay, so that's binaural beats. The first time around in 2013, that's what I was listening to. That's when I knew, around the time when I knew the freaking Greys were in my house. And then, well, actually, I saw a silver ball of light, like an orb, bounce around my cubicle at work. And then it was like, this was in 2013. And then it was like, a few days later, I was having paranormal activity and stuff, and then I knew, it was a few days after that, I somehow knew, it just clicked, like I knew the gray aliens were in my house. And then it was like a week after that, I was physically sucked up out of bed. But they do not physically abduct very often, because it's already been over 4 years, and they have not physically abducted me. They're probably not sucking people up out of the bed, like physically, like the whole world or whatever. I don't believe that. I don't believe they're physically abducting people, you know, the whole world. But the whole world are having these, you know, experiences. You know, physical and non-physical, but not necessarily being sucked up out of bed physically. And I don't know where the hell they took me. But I had some flashbacks. But yeah. I mean, all you gotta do is do drugs and you can experience demons, and then you can be like, oh, I'm an experiencer. It's like so fucking stupid. It's like propaganda, you know? Oh, I'm an experiencer, I'm a contactee. That's bullshit. All of these beings are with you when you're born and before you're born. You know what I mean? But yeah. So anyway, yeah, so I mean, 'cause they don't have to like physically abduct everybody, you know, but I don't know why they would, I don't know. I mean, they don't have to physically abduct you and suck you up out of bed and take you somewhere, so I don't know why they would have to do that when they could just be at your bedside and tamper with you physically or non-physically. But yeah, there's probably just, I don't know, you know, who knows, maybe at least half the world are, you know, once in a blue moon, they're sucking people up out of bed and physically abducting them. I don't know, maybe not even that much, but like I say, it's, because once you get attuned to your experiences and stuff, I mean, like, now they can't, like, hide from me. Like, I think I was physically abducted back in 2004, but, you know, my brain just wasn't, you know, it wasn't opened up yet to realize that. But anyway, but I do know I was physically abducted in 2013, and then in April, and then 2014 of January, and I haven't been physically abducted since 2014. And I mean, like, sucked up out of bed. They're very traumatic. Those kind of abductions are very traumatic. And they'll give you this virtual reality experience. And the way they did it was very rogue, too. I mean, yeah, I mean, it can be kind of scary, but I already talked about those experiences in another video. But yeah, the way they did it was rogue, but then they were sitting there massaging my toes and my feet, like all delicately. And then I, you know, at the end of the experience, and then I heard this like, whoosh, and then they teleported me back to bed, but it was just freaking weird. And like I said, I don't know where the hell they took me to. Both times, I don't know. But yeah, so in 2013, oh yeah, so like I said, that was the time of, like I said, I was already kind of born enlightened somewhat. And then when I was, shit, oh yeah, when I was like 13, that's when I knew the medical system was a scam. When I was 13 years old. And then everything else kind of happened kind of slowly. But it was 2013 when I knew the gray aliens were in my house. And, oh, and by the way, they did tell me that I was going to get physically, well, no, they did tell me that I was going to, you know, I mean, I knew something was going to happen. They told me basically that I was going to get abducted. But I didn't know how it was going to go down or anything like that. And back then, I was drinking coffee, you know, caffeine and stuff. That's why I stayed up all night, because I was scared, because I knew they were going to do something. Because they already told me they were going to do something. I just didn't know exactly what they were going to do, but I knew they were going to tamper with me. I don't know if I was thinking abduction, but I knew they were going to tamper with me in some way, shape, or form. And I stayed up. I was able to stay up till about 4:15, and this was a work night. 4:15 on a Wednesday. 4:15. Oh, actually, it would have been a Thursday morning. 4:15 a.m. And then it was about like well, anyway, they abducted me for about 45 minutes. From about, oh yeah, no, it was right when I split second before I fell asleep or whatever, or something like that, about 4:15. Yeah, that's when they physically abducted me and sucked me up out of bed. And then it was about 10 minutes after 5 a.m. they sucked me back in bed, and I was like screaming like bloody murder. But yeah, it was kind of funny, because those beings were very considerate. The second ones were not considerate, because they made me like groggy or something on purpose, because that's why I went to bed like 10 minutes after 9 p.m. I went to bed, because they somehow made me like groggy, and then boom, you know, they physically abducted me. But it's like that first group of beings, they were considerate, because they waited until I went to bed and everything, when they probably could have. I mean, if they really want to, they could knock you on the ground. You know, they could, I mean, if they really wanted to, they could just make you, like right here and now, make you pass out on the ground and physically abduct you that way if they really wanted to. But, you know, some of them, you know, are kind of considerate, and they know that that would be kind of rogue. But the way that second group abducted me, it was rogue, in my opinion. But that video is on here, on YouTube. But anyway, so like, okay, so it was about that time, 2013, I decided to listen to, like a lot of times I'd come home from work and listen to meditation music. So in 2013, and I don't know how I oh, maybe it was, I don't know, maybe it was on the David Icke forums or something. Somebody was talking about binaural beats or something like that. So anyway, I punched it in, because I never really heard of it. Punched it in, and I was listening to that annoying binaural beats, and it is kind of creepy. Like, I mean, it's kind of freaking creepy, you know? And so anyway, I mean, I can't remember if I was talking to the aliens or not. I mean, I probably was. But anyway, it brings, this kind of music brings, or meditation or whatever, brings demons, man, because like I was laying backwards in the bed, and then I went out of body. I went out of body just like this. I went down at an angle, you know, like backwards, like down. I was laying on my back. And then you know, at an angle, I went like down, down, down. And it felt like I was like in astral water, like, you know, like astral water or something. So I did go out of body. Of course, I didn't go to like a virtual reality scenario. But I did go out of body. So, I mean, it was some kind of dimension I went to. Yeah, so I went out of body. And I did hear like this being, this woman or this being over at the way at my right side of my head, like many yards away or whatever. Like she didn't sound happy, like you know, I mean, she didn't sound happy, you know what I'm saying? So I did hear that entity or being or spirit or whatever. And but before I went out of body and started like floating like an astral water, but like I say, I went down. I didn't go up. Yeah, when you go down like that, when you go down and you astral travel, you're going to like, you know, hell basically. When you go, well, actually, well, never mind about that. But in a way, a lot of times if you astral travel down, you'll go to hell. But anyway, it's the aliens that were giving me all those out-of-body experiences anyway. So they can make you go to hell or they can make you go to heaven. So that's irrelevant, I guess. Okay, so anyway, but before I did that, when I was laying there listening to the, before I went out of body, when I was listening to the binaural beats, I started smelling singed hair and like a burnt smell, like singed hair and like gasoline and smoke and stuff. And so that was kind of weird, So yeah, so it's kind of like some of these beings that come around. So I guess a being was lurking around, and maybe that's the being that actually took me, out of body, But sometimes you may think you went out of body by yourself, but you're not. It's being triggered by the being. And sometimes, and like a demon, they're not gonna give off a strawberry smell or raspberry smell. They're gonna give off weird smells like gasoline and singed hair and fire. So that's all kind of interesting, because when people see fire, they think of demons and stuff. Like in hell or whatever. So that was the first experience. And then the second experience was just the other day on May 4th. When I was sleeping hardcore from 8 p.m. Well, I started off sleeping kind of lightly from 8 p.m. Then I started sleeping hardcore, just like as if I was in my own bed, if I went to bed for the night, except I was on the couch. So from 8 to midnight. But anyway, so the second experience on May 4th, I was listening to this music, and it was pretty music. And I think I was asking Joe for an out-of-body experience, so maybe it was just all coincidental, but okay, here's the one I was listening to on May 4th. And that's... Oh, whoops. But that doesn't really sound demonic or anything. But the binaural beats, that sounds very demonic to me. But yeah, but I had like a freaking nightmare. It wasn't an out-of-body experience, but you can call it virtual reality because it was so real at the time I was having this. It was more in the deep dream state, but it was virtual reality, you could call it. But it wasn't an out-of-body experience. And so the second time around on May 4th, I was listening to that Theta beats, or that pretty music. And like I say, there's nothing demonic sounding about that, but that other stuff, does sound demonic. And I think I was talking to Joe, like, you're going to come give me an out-of-body experience. Okay, so May 4th, I can't, was that a Sunday night or Saturday? I think that was a Saturday night. I can't remember. It's May 10th. Okay, whatever May 4th was, I can't remember if it was a Saturday. I think it was the weekend, though. And, okay, so anyway, and I do believe the being, whoever it was, it messed with my clock. And which they do that a lot. Okay, so anyway, so the second experience, I was listening to at 8 p.m., I started to fall asleep. Then I started sleeping like hardcore, like on my side, on the couch. I started sleeping like not in a light sleep at all, like just hardcore sleeping. And I slept, like I say, all the way from 8 p.m. to midnight on the couch. And I slept, hard, not like a very light sleep or whatever. So then I started dreaming. But this dream, it was a nightmare, and I never have nightmares, but this was an actual nightmare. I maybe had nightmares before when I was younger. Not for probably 40-something years, but I've never really had nightmares that. I did like maybe once or twice. I remember this man would just always be like walking behind me and like chasing after me. Like I'd be like outside at dark time or whatever. This was like 40 years ago. And those were kind of like nightmares because as far as I remember, I was kind of like really scared in the dream, so to speak. So anyway, this was like in the deep dream state, but it was like a nightmare because I was very like scared. And when I woke up, it still kind of affects you, when you wake up. Like you're still kind of like scared, like like sometimes it just kind of like transfers over to 3D, like all those feelings, and emotions or whatever. Okay, so basically I was, okay, so the dream goes down like this. I was at my mom's house. It's like my stepdad was deceased. It's kind of like, it was like in the future, and it was only me and my mom living in the house. She was in the bedroom sleeping, and I was apparently, sleeping in the front bedroom, and her bedroom is right by that bedroom. And this was all like a lucid dream state, but it was the dream state. I wasn't out of body. And, in a way I was out of body, but I was in the dream state. And, so anyway, so for whatever reason, I got up out of bed, and I went into the dining room, and there was a big closet, and the door was cracked this much. I don't know if you could see. Shit, I don't know if you could see. This much open. It was cracked like this much open, like a couple inches or whatever. And then I kept thinking, there's somebody in that closet. There's somebody in that closet. And then it was like I turned back around, and then I turned back around to look at the closet, and it was open like, 5 or 6 more inches. And I was like, shit, there's somebody in that closet. And and I did always have a fear of opening closets. Like if I had been out of my bedroom for a long, long time, for many hours, when I would go back in the bedroom, like when I lived at home and stuff, I was always like afraid to open my closet. But like, yeah, so anyway, and I was just like, I was really scared because I knew it was like a bad person in there, you know what I'm saying? Like gonna harm us and stuff. Okay, so anyway, I went in the bedroom, and I was like, Mom, you need to wake up, because there's somebody in the house, there's somebody in that closet. And it's so funny, she woke up out of bed, she like sat up out of bed, and she's like, oh honey, he just wants to talk about theories. And then it was so funny, that's exactly what she said. He wants to talk about theories, and he probably just is a nice person and just wants to talk. That's what she said. It was so funny. Couple things I'm forgetting what she said, but the first thing she said was, oh, he just wants to talk about theories, and I don't know theories about what, I don't know, but that's what my mom said. But my mom wasn't worried at all, and I was like, no, this guy is gonna harm us. And so at that point I was trying to find a gun and stuff, but anyway, the other thing she said, let's see, what was the other thing she said? Shit, I just had it on my mind and I forgot. She said, oh yeah, she said, well, yeah, after she said, oh honey, he's probably just nice, he probably, he just wants to talk about theories. And it was so funny, it was not like her at all, it was like a different person, but it was my mom. And she said, oh yeah, well, when I was coming in from the house, from outside, from outdoors, when I was coming in, I did see like a black shadowy person come in behind me. That's what she said. And, that was all kind of interesting. But anyway, this was all in the dream state, and I was really, it was a nightmare because I was really scared. Like, I knew that being was, and I don't know if it was, I took it that it was just like a human or whatever, when I was having this experience. I didn't think it was a demon or anything. I just thought it was just like a bad human, you know what I mean? Like the alien didn't really tell me, oh, it's a demon in the closet. Oh, no, it's a human in the closet. The demon didn't tell me. But I was really scared. And it was just funny that my mom said that she kind of saw a black shadowy figure, behind her that came in with her. But anyway, I was like really scared. And even after I woke up at midnight, I was all creeped out, for several minutes, at least an hour. And I still had to eat dinner, so I ate dinner and I went to bed. But I wasn't scared anymore after that, and I didn't have any bad experiences. But anyway, the clock. Okay, so from 8, the clock said, okay, this is what's really weird. Because the clock should have said 12:15 a.m. But I went to my clock, and it said 9:15 p.m. It said 9:15 p.m., but it should have said 12:15 a.m. Because I have it set like 15 minutes ahead of time, but according to this computer, I woke up at midnight and I went to bed. I slept on the couch at 8 p.m. And I noticed it's like they drained the battery possibly, because I know the battery was kind of weak, and so it kept jumping, in between 11 and 12. But that's still, so even if the battery was getting weak and the alien could have made it weak, that wouldn't account for that much of a time difference. I mean, it couldn't have, like, like when the second hand it keeps going every second. If the battery was getting weak, it would make more sense. Like it would say, when I woke up, that it would say something like maybe 10 or 11 or 11:30. Like it would be like maybe a 30-minute difference, but not like a 3-hour difference. It said 9:15 when it should have said 12:15 a.m. And then I noticed, like I said, the battery was weak, and then I thought, okay, well maybe they didn't screw with the clock. The meaning he. Maybe the demon didn't screw with the clock. But now I'm thinking, no, he did screw with the clock. He either he screwed with it, or the demon, reptilian, whatever, made the battery juice weak, or both. I think he probably did both. Because it's going to take time. If a battery's kind of weak, it's going to take time to come to a 3-hour difference like that. So like I said, basically, according to the clock, I went to bed. I fell asleep at 8 p.m. and then I woke up at midnight. But like I said, I woke up at midnight, and it doesn't make sense that the clock would say 9:15, p.m. So I do believe they did screw with the clock, or they meaning he, the demon reptilian or whatever. And like I say, yeah, like, see, it's funny how it was like a closet type of thing, because they probably gave me many experiences like that when I was younger that I just don't remember, about like opening up my closet and being scared and shit. But I do remember several and I think they were nightmares, because I think I was really scared in the experience, like when I was like 6, 7, 8 years old, and I had this kind of dream many times, or lucid dream or whatever. It was more of a clear lucid dream, out of body type of lucid dream. And I'd be walking down, outside, and it would be kind of like dusk or almost dark. And this man would be many yards behind me, and he'd be like chasing after me, like walking real fast after me, and I'd be trying to like walk faster and faster. So yeah, but this wasn't like a nightmare, man, because like I woke up at midnight, and of course the clock said 12:15 because it was midnight according to this computer clock, but 12:15 according to the clock on the wall, because I set my time 15-20 minutes ahead of time. But yeah, I was like really creeped out even after I woke up and everything. But yeah, that was kind of funny. I forgot what my mom said, the other two things. But the first thing she said, oh, he just wants to talk about theories. And then it was something else and something else. Theories and 2 more things. And then he said, oh, he's probably just a nice guy. And I was like, this motherfucker I know is not a nice guy. I knew he was there to like freaking kill us or whatever. And like I said, and then my mom said that, oh, well, when I was, outside, when I was coming back inside, and it was almost, dark outside. That's why I came back inside. And there was like a shadowy type of figure behind me that came in with me. And she saw, like, she knew some kind of, shadowy being came in the house with her. And so anyway, it was just kind of, this was like an actual nightmare, which was kind of cool because I never have nightmares. So this was like a different kind of experience. And I don't know, maybe listening to that theta waves had nothing to do with it. But because I was kind of talking to them, like Joel or whatever, you're going to come give me an out-of-body experience. But this was some different kind of being, that gave me this experience. But I don't really know if the theta waves had anything to do with it. But that's kind of like pretty music, But I could see where that other music, that binaural beats, that I don't know, that just does something weird to your brain to allow demons in. But, okay, well, time to eat dinner. Time to watch Once Upon a Time. That's pretty cool. Once Upon a Time, that's pretty cool. I'm watching that on Netflix. I just now started watching it, and it's been on TV since 2011. But it's kind of cool. I like it. I don't know if I'm going to get bored with it or not, because I'm almost to season 3. But I don't know. If it starts getting boring, I'm probably not going to finish it. But so far, I like it. So anyway, thanks for listening. This is my experience. Oh, I should have put something about nightmare on there, but I didn't. Well, I'll put that in the other heading on YouTube or whatever. So thanks for listening.